Hey, true blue, don't say you've gone.
Today we'll be looking at how to make your own mask. Now, to make your own mask, we'll need 3 different types of material. We've got this piece of material here, which is going to be touching your face. We've got a nice soft cotton. We need a middle filter. We've just used an old bed sheet. And we've got a front piece of material which will be seen by everyone. So we've got a nice pattern here. We also need a pair of scissors, something to measure with. We've just got a ruler. We need some pins. We've got some elastic. You can also use ribbon to tie it to your face. We also need a sewing machine and an iron. You can also hand sew it if you'd like, if you have the time. So the first step is to cut each piece of material into the measurements of 6 inches by 9 inches. Let's do that. Once you're done with that, you should have 3 nicely cut squares of fabric. Now what we need to do now is put the filter on the bottom. We need to put the outside piece on top of that one. This will be the side that's facing outwards. And then we need to put the piece of fabric you're breathing through the other way around on top of there like that. This is because we're going to be turning it inside out. Now we're just going to pin them all together. Just to confirm, you should have the filter on the bottom, the outside facing outwards in the middle, and the inside facing the other way on the top. Now let's get this sewn. And when you're sewing, you should leave a gap around this big on one of the sides so we can flip it inside out. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take the pins out. And then we're going to turn it inside out. This next step is optional. Here we've got a pipe cleaner. You can also use any piece of wire. It's just used to mold the mask to the top of your nose so it's a bit more secure. So to put this in, we just slide this in between the front layer and the filter. And putting that in there, making sure it goes all the way to the top. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to sew as close to the top as we can, securing that pipe cleaner in there. The next step, we just want to sew this hole up so it's secure. What we want to do next is grab out our iron and just iron it flat, just quickly like that. And then next we want to fold it up into 2 big folds like this, and then iron it again. Now the reason why we fold it up is so that the bad moisture sort of collects in these folds, and also it can be better molded to your face. A few examples we have here is this one has small folds like this. It's not as good because if you put it on your face, you see my face is sort of swallowed. But with this one with quite big folds, it's thin here and unfurls quite thick in the middle. So when I put it on my face, it works well. Once we've got the folds right, we're just going to iron it up. going to pin it. And now we're just going to sew 2 new lines on each side to keep the folds in. Now I'm sewing a bit further away from where I've sewed before because it's quite thick and my sewing machine struggles a bit. So I'm just moving this line a bit further over so it can do it a bit easier. The next step is to get our elastic and measure it to our face so it's a length that we are happy with. Then we want to sew it to the mask. So to do that, we want to choose whether we want it this way or if we want it this way. My personal preference is to have it this way because it's less strain on your ears. And when we're sewing it, we want to sew it 2 times on each side of the elastic. So it'll be 8 times in total. The last thing we're going to do is just clean up little bits of thread. So many bits of thread there. Oh. And you're done. So let's put this bad boy on. As you can see on this one, for me, the elastic is a bit tight, but that's because I've measured it to my girlfriend's face. This basic shape will fit any face, so you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, we're done. Thank you for watching.
My true blue, don't say you've gone.